I'd just like to do a quick comparison between the Super Nintendo and the later downsized model. Try to get it a better. So this is this, and this is what it looks like from the side. It was second one's a very nice looking design, but there were some drawbacks. So the first drawback was that there was no RF option, no RF switch. I mean, radio frequency. So, you know, there's the audio video jacks. And on the older Nintendo, you had RF switch. Doesn't sound like a big deal. But back then, a lot of people didn't have audio video jacks on their TVs, okay? The second model was probably a little cheaper, you know? Okay, so just a quick turnaround here. Okay. Before you do, you can see how it's arched a little bit. Okay. It says made in Japan. Gives the copyright as 1991, but I believe that this unit didn't come out until like 93 or so. So I think they're giving the copyright day of the release of Nintendo, of Super Nintendo. This is called the SNS-101. Okay, since I have a second unit, I'm just going to verify the information. Yep. And finally, the old model, which had an extension port, you'll see that the new model didn't have. And finally, this is the SNS-001. There you can see copyright 1991 Nintendo. Okay, sayonara. Okay, this is the FC3 Plus. Essentially, it plays Nintendo games, Sega Genesis games, or Super Nintendo games. It's your pick. It's from Yobi, who spent a long time making systems that allow you to play both Nintendo and Super Nintendo. It says Nintendo. It says Yobi Gameware, which you can barely read. Here's how the FC3 looks next to the Model 1 Super Nintendo. The Model 2 Super Nintendo. And here's the original Super Nintendo. Here's the second model from the back. And then if you just turn it over, gives you basic information. If you want to compare the two Nintendo systems right here, there's them. There's them. The Nintendo writing is a little sleeker here, a little bigger there. The logo here is a sticker, whereas here it's indented, but actually this is protruding outward. Sayonara. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, I managed to find the smaller model Super Nintendo. It's called the SNES 101, the SNS 101. Here's how it looks next to the FC Twin. You can see their style very similar, but the FC Twin is slightly larger. Although Super Nintendo is probably built over. Okay, just for reference. And just one final message regarding the Sega Dreamcast. Okay, here's a Sega Dreamcast right here. Okay? Just for the fun of it, here's another Sega Dreamcast. Now when I turn both of these units over, I can guarantee you that they're both going to have been built in a different month, because I have several units, perhaps probably 8 or 9, and they were all built in different months. Okay, so this one was manufactured in November 1999. Over here, this was manufactured in July 2000. So to me, that's impressive. Maybe I'm just overreacting. Okay, sayonara. Okay, I'd just like to do a really quick comparison. Here's the FC3 Plus. Plays Nintendo 8-bit, Super Nintendo, and Nintendo 64 games. Right there. And here's how it compares next to a Super Nintendo. And next to the Super Nintendo second model. I have another Super Nintendo small model. Gives you a good view of the side right there. Obviously, here's the front. the side. Come over here. See, the Yobo is more flat and square looking. And there's the Super Nintendo. So the Yobo is almost as big, but it's a lot thinner this way. See, the joypad port is not Nintendo, so obviously this suggests that this is probably a pirate system. And it's from Yobo. Yobo, for a long time, had been making multi-systems that play both Nintendo and Super Nintendo, etc. So they've been around for quite a while. Start over again. Okay, what I'm about to do is probably going to break my heart. Pardon me for the melodrama, but I'll probably get over it. I've had a Super Nintendo sealed for the past 16 years. Hopefully I won't lose too much sleep over this. I'm going to unwrap it. Okay, I'd better seal it up again. I'd just like to do a quick comparison between the Super Nintendo and the second model. Obviously, the second model was designed to downsize. It was pretty neat. But you also lost some features as well. Let me see here. Okay, so the second model didn't have the expansion port, which was pretty much never used anyway. And it didn't have the RF switch. This is the first one. Oh, I'm redoing this entire video.